This one, yeah. There are a couple tracks that were from guitar, but a lot of them were, very consciously.
And are you just wanting to do this solely with a banjo? You want to overdub any guitars, or is it the whole point is you just want a banjo?
So this is a subject that we've been kind of back and forth on whether or not to include anything outside of the 3-piece that we play.
As in overdubs and things like that.
Yeah, like a second banjo, or like
Well, last time we overdubbed the guitar, didn't we? Like, so we had it like in both ears, like pan.
Oh, it's a bit of space, double track.
Yeah.
So I think.
But now,
I mean, there's a hell of a lot of banjo.
Yeah.
You know, if that's the way that you sort of want it, though, a 10-track album where just banjo sort of punk might get a little bit fatiguing after. Just that banjo's quite it's got a bit of a sound to it. You know
that's
what I mean? But if that's what you're sort of going for, the whole album just banjo based, that's totally cool. It's just
really what it was is just like over lockdown I just didn't have my guitar with me and I just had my banjo, so this was just like over the course of it just finding the different ways to make that the different qualities of it.
Yeah, because I mean, like, listening back to that, you know, like coming in the chorus and sort of hearing sort of guitars coming in and stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
to really amp it up.
Yeah, or like just to sort of, you know, take the focus away from the banjo, so when it does come in, you go, that's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
You know,
different
sort of thing. But again, it's very subjective. If you wrote it in wanting a banjo to it, I totally get
I think I would really like for like parts like that, the chorus just having a second distorted channel. I think would be useful in that.
On the banjo stuff. Though,
yeah.
So you're not really wanting to overdub like guitars in or anything like that.
I'm not sure as of yet. That's something that I haven't really considered.
I'm pretty set and like just do the band as it is right now. Banjo is the band, you know.
Yeah,
I
think the challenge is going to be to like capture a sort of like happy medium between how your banjo sounds acoustically and how it should sound like overdriven.
I think you're from a sound engineering sort of point of view, you're missing a lot of those lower mids that a guitar puts into stuff, you know, that adds energy and sort of excitement. You're kind of missing that. Even distorting it, you're losing.
Yes. It's just like flagging a point. I don't know. Yeah. Well. Yeah. So listener, well, is that an issue?
Is what an issue?
Not being as energetic as, because with live we don't have it.
I'm not saying it's an issue. I'm just sort of giving you from my standpoint, like you know,
but like a frequency.
Sound ears, you know. Again, it's subjective. I'm not saying it's sound bad just on the banjo out there, the whole thing. I just think you're missing those lower mids that really, you know, like say add sort of energy to something, and you know.
Is there a way that we could like boost those frequencies for part of it, or is that just not? Is it because they're just not there?
They're not really there in the first place, man.
The lowest note on it is a D.
And even then, you know, you know, we could go and high pass it and pull it up, and you'll be surprised how little lower mid information there is in a banjo, you know.
Would make because it's just
it's
limited, right?
There's not much resonance in it either, like you know. So it's very sort of very toppy, sort of guys. Yeah, sorry guys.
I think toppy is fine. I think like I was just about to say, but talk to me gets back. Those lower mids I want to bring out on the bass. Because like that's all sort of like life up around anyway.
Yeah, especially as a 3-piece and like us occupying very different sonic spaces.
I think it's fine. I think we should go for it. No risk, no glory. Fucking.
Yeah, I feel like it's a case of like just a different way of recording to capture everything and get that sense of the power without having to do what he says about like the banjo having all the power. But, I mean, I think the banjo is like I think it should sit on top. It should be like kind of like on top. It should be. I don't know how you feel about it, man, but like Like you've never been like one for like the power chords and stuff. I mean,
No, I use power chords pretty rarely.
No.
And like to be, I think the first few songs don't really show off what it does.
Yeah, but it needs that sort of dynamic of the three things working together and that making sense to the listener.
Yeah, because I feel like
because if the bass is in the wrong place and the bass is too dry, the drums are too dry. And then of course, like if that's the situation, and the banjo is just going to be like, it's not going to have any like power to it.
Yeah,
the band's not going to have any power to it. But.
That's a fair point. I think why we would go with having a live version with you guys is that it has that built-in that built-in drive, that built-in power, and this is something that's laying on top of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you can get different tones out of banjo recorded in different ways. Yeah. Like I think we're gonna end up overdubbing parts, but it's not gonna sound like like fake.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can get like a more of a acoustic-y, record the banjo as it is, get a bit of resonance, and there must be a way we can like get more of a definition from the close mic as well.
Yeah, because
those two things together, I think, would be enough to carry it.
Without the muting, especially, like, because when my banjo is muted when I play live, just to prevent feedback, like it is way more resonant, it is way more sustained when it's just open.
You should definitely mention that when Paris comes. Like, well, trying to get it to you with maybe if it's just a mic and itself or whatever, you know, just straight. But I just think definitely we should not be adding things that are not there.
Yeah,
I
agree with you.
Absolutely, and like I think like main things like the banjo, getting the crispness of that, the crispness through. That sort of like, so we can hear like the nuances of what we're playing. Just getting more of that high end. High in the high mid system.
And ideally, like, how I would see it is getting a body mic to get like the acoustic quality of the instrument and using the pickup for a different signal of the same take. So that way you have a separate channel to like really boost stuff and create that dynamics within while still having a clean tone.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Yeah, an ideal world. Like
that
Sorry, guys. Getting some stuff up.
Oh, you're good. Oh, appreciate it, buddy.
Guitars. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, frequency, banjo.
I think the conclusion that we've come to is I think we're just staying with the 3-piece and focusing on getting like a really clean, because without the muting, without the stuffing in it, it really does resonate and it really does have a lot of sustain. And I think using the body mic, like a contact mic that we can have just to record the acoustic quality, and using the pickup to get a separate channel. Having those two channels would be enough to really play with the dynamics.
I think, to be honest, like we were speaking about, you got any filler tips? Do you use filler tips?
No, I'm smoking weed.
So you smoke weed? I smoke some weed as well. I didn't want to just scan up in case.
Because I just have this like little like one-hitter dude that's just like ground weed.
I thought it was a rollie.
That's the beauty of it.
It's like a wee chillum pipe thing, isn't
it? Yeah, essentially, yeah. It's called a one-hitter, but it has like, because it just has weed in there, and then it's like a little metal.
Does it heat, or do you light it?
Yeah, you just light it straight.
Okay.
Dude, I destroyed my one-hitter.
You all like a smoke,
I like smoke.
I don't.
You're the odd one out,
I feel like it just gets like totally wasted on me.
Do you not like a beer or anything? No.
Not anymore. It's cool. I have a free alcohol one.
Well, I was gonna say we should have brought alcohol-free beer for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Anyway.
My idea with the banjo was not to use any contact mics or anything like that. So just maybe one just for you playing with the boys. So they've got something in the ears. But when we come to, obviously, we'll need to redub. Yours will be an overdub so we can capture it properly. My idea was to multi-mic it up with some room mics, some closed mics, dynamics, condensers and stuff. And have these sort of options, and then apply drive to it afterwards.
I see.
So we have more control.
Yeah,
over it.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Rather than fiddling with an amp itself.
Pretty much. Captain in it sounding like an amazing sounding banjo that sounds like a banjo to start off with, and then experiment after that by either saturating it in the box or maybe reamping it, spitting out mic signals and stuff.
Because I do like the idea of it having like a clean channel that is consistent, and then an effects channel almost that can waver depending on the song. And because there are definitely parts that are decisively like there are feedback, and like that's part of the song. But being able to limit and control that.
I think it might be a case of coming in and to do the kick sections, then we'll be focusing on the bass, maybe saturating bass parts of choruses, making them pop a little bit more, filling that out a little bit more. That side of things that the bands just can't do at all because we've got guitars, you know.
Yeah, we were talking about this. I envision quite a sort of mid-heavy sort of bass sound, at a low mid, so quite like anyway.
Yeah, and you do play really high up the neck.
I do play up, I do.
How do you feel about bass distortion and things like, like quite gainy?
I just
not just like amp grit, but actual proper sort of maybe fuzz or dialing in something like that, on the top end of it or something. Or
I like almost like I feel like fuzz. If you go too far into fuzz, it gets a bit like.
Well, there's a wee secret I like over years because I love fuzz because I'm still a rock guy. Like you can when you're live and you put really high gainy fuzz on a bass, it sounds great live, but when you're recording it, you lose that solidity in the bottom end. So what I find is like splitting. You used to do it. You could do it in the box, and I used to do it through like we'd spit like this, the DI out, and then into like a little guitar practice amp, and drive that, and mix that in. But we would high pass it so the distortion would just be distorting the sort of upper mids and the top of the bass, and you still have a clean bottom end. So you still have that solid clean bottom end, but you have that. That might be a shout for popping in to sections, choruses.
Some things, where I play like some to fill in the to get more of a oomph. I play some upper register chords and stuff. Yeah. So that would probably work for that. Yeah. But for the main sound, I think I really like a sort of really aggressive, like clangy sort of.
Clangy sound. I remember that from the you want that sort of. Like, so you play with a pick as well, don't you?
Yeah,
so
play with a pick, and I play it above the pickups.
Yeah.
I just
I think that'll be. I think you guys are obviously super well rehearsed. I just think getting that, so we've got filling that sort of mid-range out. Yeah. Well, probably the trickiest bit, I think. Not having the parts.
Because
I'm down for it, like.
Cool, because at least my conception of it was always like a sort of like mid-80s noisy, thrashy, hardcore punk band, but using these like
no guitars.
Well, because for a long time, like I never played with a pick ever, and like I've always done finger picking stuff, and I really believe that like these really driving, hard picking stuff works really well in a punk context. Like I don't like playing leads. Like I'm not a shredder. Yeah. But you're able to play melodies within chord notes and like leveling that out with having a really aggressive, almost skate punk like.
Yeah, I mean, say another thing, distorting a banjo, you do lose what I noticed when I've heard you play the banjo is that you lose that sort of the chord voicings. Exactly, it's one thing. If you're just sort of strumming it like a guitar and playing a chord, but like you said, you're picking notes within a chord and you've got lots of drive on it, then you lose the chord voicings a little bit, and it's sort of intelligibility of and it gets a bit mushy. And,
exactly why I wanted to be done after the fact and overdone, so I can really sit and get that clarity.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What's the you know, when you're going do, that's really cool. Like even with a filter on that or something, pan it off.
Yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean? And then when you're actually popping it for the chorus.
With the best jazz, subconscious. Look at this shit. Lights out. To the business. Boom. Gymnast to my mind.
Turned into a microphone.
Well,
Is it when you close mic it?
you kind of always have like, I've only recorded banjos a couple of times to be honest. The way I've always done it is like a large diaphragm dynamic to close mic it, like a 421 or 57, something like that.
Yeah.
Because when you get a condenser too close to it, it's really harsh and
Yeah.
poppy. But when you get a condenser maybe 2 foot back, mix that in. You know what I mean? It softens up the top end a little bit. You know, when you stagger the mic sort of further back.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Be thankful I'm not playing a resonator one. Or the big
Domino
one in the back.
lights,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're harsh.
Yeah.
They're like.
I mean, the sort of, again, like a domino, the same with the banjo,
Yeah.
by its essence, how it became banjo was to keep up with other instruments and bands without amplification. Back in the day. It's why resonators came about, you know.
Yeah,
But
just because
like,
they're playing over big bands.
yeah, so they're kind of designed to
Open
be
brass.
standing here, or sitting here and listening to you play there, not
Yeah.
like with the ear up right next to it, sort of
Yeah.
thing. Like, like guitar amps are kind of different and stuff. I think it'll just be a bit of experimentation, but once we find what works, you know what I mean? I think it's going to be.
That one I broke my string on, so.
something like that.
Yeah, there you
It'd be really nice to bring that out.
go. Exactly, yeah.
Bring out that sort of, like you can hear like the differentiation between the notes you're playing and stuff here.
Yeah,
Bring that out to make it like really like.
it's doing it when it's heavily distorted.
Yeah.
That's the issue, yeah.
Which, like, I'm not really committed to distortion itself. That's just like an effort of me to get louder in the set based on what I Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's not what I'm committed to as far as the tone itself.
I still feel like it needs something on it.
Oh, definitely. I firmly believe there's some gain that's necessary.
Yeah, maybe just one bit, so you know.
Yeah. I like the idea of pedal shifting it, like rather than these like kind of gradual, subtle swept in stuff. I do like really strong pedal shifts.
Yeah.
But keeping a clear tone throughout. So all the nuance is still there, but there's that increase in energy.
What's this tune called?
This is a circle bit. Time is a flat circle bit is the full. It's about how like music concepts are kind of cyclical and folk music is punk music. Like they all have similar themes and it's kind of universal regardless of the period.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not to click that one though.
Yeah, it's gotta be impossible.
I mean, you could draw a tempo map out and stuff, but I think that would really just kill the vibe of it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be kind of a hoedown song. That's a super traditional way that it's played. So
It's just more definition, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
way more like attack, way more
Yeah.
like definition to the banjo and the bass. And
that's why I wanted to get a DI and an ABY pedal that splits it.
Yeah.
So you do have the super loud, just upfront DI that just has all the definition, and it's just super snappy. But then you have other elements to bring in the loudness and distortion and such.
That's probably how you'd want to do it live. You would sit in front of the house, you know, a contact mic or something on the banjo, and then
Exactly.
feed an amp.
Yeah, and it can just
sort of
it can wail away and be
Yeah.
fine, and I still have something that has some clarity and some tonality. Because there are parts of the songs that really benefit from having a kind of blaring feedback.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this section was missing.
Yeah. We just fucking cut it.
Some really Scottish there at the end, man.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm half Scottish, you know.
I mean, like, you thing. like most Scottish things. Distortion naturally compresses stuff. That's why you should compress like say the guitars. If you took a good example, like when you're playing a bass, you get all the dynamics. You put the distortion on it, it looks like a stereo.
Exactly.
It's really driven already through the Ashdown. Really, like, kind of grinding.
It's called asymmetric clipping.
Nice.
It clips the top of the waveform, flattens it. That's if you looked at distortion on an oscilloscope, that's what it would look like. That.
Oh,
so you get a
interesting.
flat top.
And that.
And every time someone puts a big muff on, you know, like when you've got a nice clean tone, they put a big muff on, it just goes and it just crunches everything.
You're just running a lawnmower over top of it. Just,
Yeah, that's sort of like really saturated distortion.
And it's funny because it works obviously in a live context because you're just surrounded by the sound and like you get that reverberation. But it's so visible when laid out in a recording context. What program do you use for this?
That's Cubase 10.5 Pro. It's the latest version. Cubase 5.
Is Cubase 10 subscription based like Photoshop?
No.
Okay.
But DigiDesign have gone that way with Pro Tools
Yeah,
now. I
yeah.
think that's pretty shit in a way.
I hate it,
like,
dude.
Yeah, so every year you have to. I just want to buy it, and that's it. It's
And
mine.
the yearly subscription is the cost of the program. Like, you're just gonna make more people go to cracks. Like, that's not gonna help you.
Yeah. I would say.
I like that Cubase. You can just buy the program.
Yeah.
Spaz, and I think the song is Spud Boy that they use it on.
Why can't you be normal and like R. Kelly or something?
Why do you gotta listen to this bullshit?
I am the world's greatest. What's the song? I can't remember. That's R. Kelly song. I am the world's greatest. Yes.
Why can't you do it to R. Kelly? And not stuff that sounds like we just turned on the vacuum cleaner. This one was backwards.
Listen, just
Minute
the
long.
Backstreet Boys.
Minute long, most of it's a sample.
Yeah, banjo violence. Yeah. Whoa, what an amazing cover. Oh,
Natural beat there also.
I love it.
Pretty well hardcore then, punk, isn't it?
Yeah. The power violence.
Yes.
They get us to it, man.
That's good as fuck. It's just a rose bed, so it sounds like a guitar. So.
Yeah. It was like 94, like it was before I was born. Like,
Do you know any bands that smash the banjo up? Like?
honestly, like, I'm trying to think. Say, Show Me the Body, I guess.
The Body,
yeah, they're probably the only ones that I can really.
It doesn't sound like a banjo, but they're.
Yeah, like Dropkick Murphys and like Celtic punk bands do, but they're typically pretty clean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You hear the call so it goes?
Show
Was
me.
it? Show Me the Body.
Dude, have you heard of Mr. Marcello? Yeah,
the song.
yeah, French guy.
Mr. Marcello.
Yeah, he plays the cello like massive and everybody is like, double bass.
So yeah, it's just a live show done, but
So they got just got a banjo player.
yeah.
Shit.
It's
But that same DJ was playing with this little banjo before. It looks like you're in it.
but they use it in a way different way than I do. Like it's pretty sparse and like pretty.
So it's not like all the time. They just pop it into sections. So.
Yeah, he's a hardcore singer, so he fucks about on stage. They're way more minimal than we are, I think. In my
Are they a noise fan? I love it.
What's that?
Are they a noise fan?
It's looking that way, man, isn't it?
I love it.
They're not solely noise, but
Yeah.
He's still not more to the band for it.
Solid, yeah.
yeah, throwing it fits nothing, man.
Yeah.
I offered to take a job on mastering this dude's did a noise code track. This was years ago. Never heard of noise code, like proper noise code.
Yeah.
It's like, and I didn't know what to make of it.
Yeah.
I didn't have a clue how to master it. It's like fucking just a noise from start to finish.
Yeah.
Literally just a fun.
I have
we all meet up and it's like this little. There's a tiny little community of noise code people who just meet up, put on little gigs and play to each other.
In here?
Like play, no.
Oh, yeah.
This guy's from London, I think.
Oh,
Like, meet up in warehouses. They all do it themselves.
Yeah,
That's it. They sit like cassette tapes, do fucking guitar pedals.
I'm into all that. Like,
Oh man, come on, Floyd, yeah.
Honestly,
Is it music? It's more maybe art. I don't know if it's music.
I don't know. Like, I mean, we could definitely get into it, man. But yeah,
Proper noise code I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Proper
yeah,
noise.
I'm into it, honestly.
We're way weirder than we portray, I think.
as people.
Yeah.
You'll love that.
This is a long build-up, which I'm already against, but
Sounds like my youth community centre somewhere or something.
yeah, that's where honestly most of the hardcore
Like a
shows
shoe
are in
shop.
America. Yeah, it's just like machine shops, VFW halls and shit.
They have those walls where you can hand the shoes. Like, you know, like the stands for the shoes, you just plug them in. It looks like a shoe.
I'm already irritated. I'm like, get to the point.
They don't need to do it. It's only a pit.
Yeah.
There we go. That's cool. I think our band found something to be alive.
Yeah. I don't want to be embarrassed about it, but a lot of the time he's just kind of holding it. He's not actually playing it like a banjo. What a riff, dude.
The A cup is going like, Get it at the bass players, he plays the bass like guitar. Yeah, just pop it in and make it a bit of noise. Looks like bands with feedback all the time, actually.
Yeah. Really, it does have a cool sound. I do like the sound of it. It's sort of a great sound.
Somebody's just flicking a light switch there.
Yeah.
The guy's the light switch.
Like, to be fair, that doesn't need to be a band. Like, the way that he's playing it like a trap band, which is fine. Like, I don't care, but it's slightly different. Like,
It's kind of more of a novelty than actually making bands sound purely different.
yeah, then it's being an integral part of the sound of the genre.
Yeah. Like, you're totally right. That would sound, well, better with a guitar.
Yeah, like,
not You have any
Not that we have to get used to it or anything to this, but this is something that is just going to happen all the time. It's just like, oh, like show me the body. Oh, yeah, like show me the body.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And it's fine. You just go like, yeah. It's fine.
There are worse bands to be compared to.
Oh, the guys compare you guys to each other. We haven't played.
I think it will happen.
I
Like
think
as soon as it's like, what's your lineup, and you go just like banjo, bass, drums, and you go like, oh, like show me the body or something.
Yeah, 'cause they're like a relatively noteworthy hardcore band. We're the only other ones in the banjo.
Yeah, and
You don't really describe yourselves. You describe yourselves as a hardcore band.
I don't know.
I think punk really. Yeah, like we're not like beat down hardcore.
Punk,
I like fucking.
punk world coffee break.
Like
Kind
we're
of like,
so over the map.
it's horrible to try and label how you do it, but
As used
they're
to,
also
for
like
sure.
funky, rockabilly, fucking. I don't know. It's weird, man. You know?
We'll get there. Yeah, it used to happen all the time, you know, playing in a two-piece band. Oh, like the White Stripes. Oh, like the White Stripes. Yeah, like yeah, it's gonna happen. And it's fine.
But those bands before, like, compared to other bands,
I think no matter what band you play in, you're gonna get compared to other bands.
Yep.
at least we're not compared to you two.
Oh my god.
Every count.
Yeah, there you go.
We don't sound like you two. What?
We don't
At
sound
all.
like Bon Jovi.
We don't sound like Bon Jovi. We don't sound like.
You are right.
Yeah. Like if they're like, oh, you sound like Sugar the Bottom, I'm like, all right, fair enough.
But how many people are trying that? You know?
Yeah, how many people are gonna know Show Me the Body to begin with?
Yeah. Yeah.
It would be cool if they know that.
Yeah, so
And then they would be like, oh shit, but it's different.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
We don't sound like Coldplay with more energy.
yeah.
We don't sound like fucking like U2 or
Blink 182 even.
What
Like
is
there are
that?
so many Blink 182 bands.
Oh, what is that? Okay.
should we play Death Grips?
Yeah.
Death Grips is like some banjo.
Yeah. I mean, so often in like hip hop drum loop type stuff, there's just like arpeggio synth, which is the same thing as finger roll banjo. Like that's the same.
Is it finger roll seems a barrel roll for banjo thing, is it?
Yeah. So
Kind of like how Victor Wooten when he plays his piano bass. Or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Same with banjo players, isn't it?
yeah. So a barrel roll is when you just use the two fingers, and a finger roll is when you use.
Oh, when you got the thumb as well. Then.
Yeah.
So that's a barrel roll, is it?
Yeah.
Like, something like it.
So like I don't even think his banjo has a drone string at the top, which is what you're supposed to use to make those like those triplet rolls. Is you use that drone string as like an empty note. But I don't even think he has a new fist string on his banjo. So
We just use a ton of effects.
yeah.
But I know that the bass player they use a ton of effects. But there must be a shitload in the banjo. But
I actually think they have two bass players.
the one that varies in it slightly, isn't it?
What's that?
There's a slight variation of vibe in the one.
Yeah.
I like how they subvert half time beat everything. Because like that's such a trope of like hardcore, and then they don't really fuck with it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah. I'm a fan.
It's my song.
It's like numbers really, isn't it?
Yeah, awesome.
phase S, sort of a little bit.
Yeah, it was hard that like high percussive element cut through.
Right, yeah. Any badass bands that you love the drum sound to? You fucking love that drum sound, man.
Yeah, sure. So I like the Bronx, but it's just,
I agree that. Yeah.
and it's just, I think it depends on the record though.
Is
Like
there a tune in particular that you stand out as a banging drum sound to you?
Kick is there.
Like, there's no song, just in general, like, yeah.
What do you mean,
There's
sorry?
like a song in particular you go, man, the drum sound's banging on that, so just generally speaking, like, you just like the sound.
Do you know what? Can you put the Chariot on?
Because that's like sludgy, sludge.
Yeah.
It's badass though, because that was all there in one take, and it's a single shot camera the whole time. So
Yeah.
well, how many times they did that? They went, nah, I'm fucked up. It's a venue they didn't do the first time.
It's like a video.
What was the band you were saying, man?
Minutemen, history lesson or?